hodl that Bitcoin.
All right, guys, you come onto my live stream and you skip my freaking topic. Now I'm pissed.
Yeah, we can't do that. We can't do that.
Do not skip my mother. All right? This is a mother family friendly.
Hold on, let me see if I can bring up I got some. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah. So my topic was basically I just want to talk about Vitalik Buterin coming out on Twitter and kind of responding to an article and attempting to detach himself from Ethereum. We've already seen Charlie Lee.
Whoa.
We've already seen Charlie Lee detach himself from Litecoin. Now he still goes to Litecoin Summit, and he isn't doing a really good job of detaching himself. But
the Litecoin Foundation, how detached is he really?
Yeah, well, I mean that was what he was saying with why he sold his Litecoin. He said he sold his Litecoin because he didn't want to be able to have the power to be able to make a tweet about Litecoin and it affect the price. So he tried to distance himself from it. And I think all of these guys will, who are kind of in charge of these projects will. I'm just telling you what he said. That's what he said.
If he makes a tweet tomorrow, it's still going to affect the price.
But he doesn't have the same level of investment in it. He doesn't have the same level of investment where it was kind of affecting his own. Yeah, that was. So that was from my bad lip reading video I did. That was what he was really talking about when I dubbed my fake Charlie Lee voice over him. But, so anyways, back to Vitalik, though. Do you guys think, and this is really kind of a larger conversation about, do you guys think that projects do better when they have someone attached to them? Or is that actually kind of like against the decentralized nature of what crypto is supposed to be about?
It's worse that they have people attached to them. Yep, it's worse. Bitcoin would have failed a long time ago.
Oh, I agree with that.
Satoshi was, we knew who he was.
If they could have put Satoshi Nakamoto in jail in 2008, they would have.
Yeah, if Satoshi Nakamoto was Bill Clinton, we would have been, we found out that it would have been over a long time ago.
Yeah. I did not have relations with that white paper.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though. And that's something that I talked about with someone while I was at Litecoin Summit. I can't remember who it was. But how, basically I believe that Satoshi is dead. I think like half of the people he could possibly be are dead and the other half are still alive. And if so, they've detached themselves completely from it to this point, at least. So I'd like to think he's not going to come out of hiding at any point, one way or the other. And I think it's a good thing because people's values and their vision change over time. And we've seen this with several different people involved in crypto. So Satoshi probably, whoever he was or is, would have somewhat different views right now. We're always talking about what is Satoshi's vision? Well, if he were still alive and involved in the project, his vision would have changed. I think that's really fortunate for Bitcoin. And that's why, one day he's definitely going to be, some kind of legend, I think, if he already isn't.
But let me ask you this, Bitboy, can a project today come out and not have a person, a figurehead?
It's hard because of the marketing, because marketing is so pivotal to this space right now for new projects coming out that they really need kind of a figurehead. They need someone out front, at least in some capacity. I mean, we can look at almost everything in the top 20 and we can tie a person to them. I can't think of, maybe like Stellar. I mean, I guess you can kind of tie Jed McCaleb to it, but he actually has done a good job from distancing himself and kind of laying in the weeds a little bit with it. But so I don't know. It's one of those, just like we see in crypto all the time, and another catch-22. So
there's only one person in charge of Monero, and there's the team. None of them use their real names. Only Fluffy Pony is the only guy that finally came out and is like, here's who I am. Right. But even still, they by and large, they were like, we don't want you to know because we are doing something that a lot of governments, let's be honest, a lot of governments might have an issue with the fact that we are building this.
So we can all look up to Verge, right? Are they anonymous? Didn't he dox himself? I heard he doxed himself recently.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Do you guys enjoy my content? If so, there's two easy things that you can do to make sure you always know when stuff comes out. Number one, of course, hit that subscribe button. Number two, hit that little bell icon right next to the subscribe button so that you make sure you turn on notifications every time I put out new content. Now, onto the video.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't think if Vitalik died tomorrow, I don't think
Ether would go away, but would it have a huge impact? Absolutely. And so I do see it as a detriment that you have figureheads at the forefronts of a lot of these cryptocurrencies. I would prefer that people just use things based on the technology itself. But I mean, human nature, people are always looking for somebody to lead the charge and to be. True. And I think that's a lot of the reason for a lot of the infighting when it comes to Bitcoin, because there's no, there hasn't really been like, this is the guy.
Roger Ver.
It was, oh man. Yeah. But you know, like that's part of the reason why you have people like Roger that can come out and say, well, actually this is real Bitcoin. Well, I mean, that's a pain, but at the same time, it's nice to see that in the face of stuff like that and all of these forks, Bitcoin is still just Bitcoin, and it's able to just kind of go on its own. And a lot of people have a problem with especially like I was talking to Krista Rose when we were in
Lord.
Yeah, and his big thing is all about governance, and we need somebody at the forefront saying what this is and being the official Bitcoin. And I think the total opposite. I think if anything, all of these people claiming that something else is Bitcoin or this is the next Bitcoin, and Bitcoin just keeps on being there and being it, and people know what it is, that's the biggest use case out of any cryptocurrency I've seen. There's nobody to tell you what it is. It just is.
Yeah. That's all. Like, how many guys have read The Internet of Money? Just out of curiosity.
I haven't read it.
Yeah. That was, first of all, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely worth the read. Andreas Antonopoulos's book. Yeah. And that he was talking about some things in that were pretty mind blowing, specifically about how it's like the fact that Bitcoin exists and is a decentralized thing. People have been trying to break this specific thing for a long time, and because it's got such a robust development community and the longest chain and everything else, it's just people have been trying to kill Bitcoin or break Bitcoin since Bitcoin existed, and it's still here, and it's still robust, and it's still resilient. And people can keep trying to make. I think every single fork is a cash grab. Flat out. You know what I mean? Like, because otherwise, if it wasn't, like, you can make a new currency, but if you're making a fork of Bitcoin, it's a cash grab. Because if you really just cared about Bitcoin, you would actually just continue to contribute to what it is and try to shape what it is, rather than say, we disagree with this fundamentally.
I disagree with that, Somniac. I think, especially with like Bitcoin Cash, I mean, he doesn't need the money. Roger Ver didn't. Bitcoin Jesus doesn't need the money.
About a hurt ego.
I think you pronounced Judas wrong.
So he doesn't need it. So I think he's actually trying to, in his mind, he envisions what Bitcoin used to be. Mm-hmm. He's trying to make that still, be that through Bitcoin.
Well, supposedly the rumor is, the speculation is, and it's, by his actions, it would seem to kind of back that up. Of course, I don't have anything substantial here, but that it's about a hurt ego, and that it's deeply personal between Roger Ver and the other devs, or the other people that are with the Bitcoin Foundation and stuff. So, because there's a nerve that's been touched with him. It's not just, he comes out and talks about what's good for Satoshi's vision all the time. It's
his marketing tactic is totally wrong. That is one thing I disagree with him on. Like, instead of talking about how Bitcoin Cash, what they're doing, how they can further things, he's always comparing it to what Bitcoin isn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that method is totally incorrect. But to me, I'm like, look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much he talks. It doesn't matter how much Bitcoin does what it does. I think the market is going to pick. And that's ultimately, I love that.
Yeah.
The market will pick. You can't buy that.
Well, and it's in a way, I am kind of thankful that he's been around, because he's been good at what he does. He's very good at being front and center and finding ways into all of these media, on mainstream media, and he's all over the place saying this is real Bitcoin. But had we not had that, we wouldn't have had a litmus test of what happens when you have more of like a social attack on what Bitcoin is.
That's true. I hadn't really considered that point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all part of Bitcoin. It prides itself at being so robust because so many people are actively trying to attack the protocol, but people are actively trying to attack people's perception of what it is as well. And so that makes that aspect of it stronger too. So I mean, for all the shit I give Roger Ver, I mean, glad to have you, buddy.
Yeah, I say you got to have a foil, right? I mean, you never know what's a good day in the market until you see a red day in the market. So you got to have a foil to know what's good and what isn't, I guess. So I don't know. I listen to him talk, and sometimes I almost buy it, right? Like I almost buy it, but there's just
it's hard. I cringe.
There's just too much venom.
I can't get past the way he talks to people and interrupts them. It's not. Is very inefficient in the way he's trying. He needs to get a PR person and just let that, get a pretty girl and have her do her thing or something. I don't know.
They have them at the booth, don't they?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, gents, I really do have to wrap here. But I want to say that I'm so excited that I got to chat with all you guys. It's been it's been a few weeks since the Litecoin Summit.
Weeks now.
Yeah. So it's really, really good to see you guys again. I really appreciate it.
Well, reunion. Yeah.
Thanks